Thursday fishing report. We're getting ready to talk about the spillway. Alright, that was IMMS last night, where we had a forum concerning the Bonnie Carey spillway opening and its effect on the Mississippi Sound. I was actually asked to be a panelist. I don't want to talk about that for long. I want to touch on it, but I want to get right past that because I have some really good fishing reports this week. So stick with us, okay? But first things first. Long story short, at the end of my presentation, I challenged the scientists, the engineers, and the politicians in attendance to do better. That we're relying on 1920s technology to protect us from the river in 2019. And I have to believe that there's a better way to handle this situation for both us here on the coast, for the people that need protection in Louisiana, for the commercial fishermen, and for the farmers up north, the Delta, the farmers, the Arkansas, all these other areas. It's not just an issue that affects us here. So there has to be a better way. We're smarter, where we've got more technology. There has to be a better way for us to deal with this situation. I really believe that, and I hope they hear what we're saying and what we're seeing. So let's get to fishing, all right? Because fishing this week was awesome. I've been waiting for months to say something like that, but it really was. We had a pocket of clean water from Cat Island, south to Chandelier, west to the edges of the marsh, and probably halfway across the Mississippi Sound was pretty water. Now, if you were east or west of that, it was the same muddy water, mediocre fishing. There's fish, but it's a lot of work. They're not feeding the same. But inside this pocket this week, it was on fire. A lot of great catches of speckled trout and redfish, Spanish mackerel all over Cat Island. All right, grass beds, east side, west side, the fish just responded everywhere. I've been telling y'all for weeks, these fish aren't leaving. They're not going to Alabama. They're stressed out and they're hiding. And as soon as it got better, they were starving because they went to feeding like nobody's business. Went to Chandelier one day last week and had a phenomenal trip. Caught a limit easily, and every boat around us seemed to be doing the same thing. So once again, it was all because of that clean water. A lot of good fish came out of the edges of the marsh this week too. So all of that is the same for me. It all had to do not with the fish, but with the water quality. All right, so if you're outside of that pocket, I'm not going to question that pocket because I needed it. I needed a week of really good fishing to get fired up again and get excited about going on the water every day, and that did it. I feel like a new man right now. All right, we did have a question this week. Mark Ray, I hope you're watching this video, buddy, because Mark wanted to know about some triple tail reports, so we'll throw that in here. I still am seeing lots of triple tail, not as many as I saw earlier in the year, but I'm seeing more quality fish. This week in particular, I saw an easy 20-pound fish under a redfish, a dead redfish, floating south of Ship Island. And I got caught with no live shrimp in the live well. I almost always carry at least a dozen live shrimp just in case I see a triple tail, but I didn't want to deal with it that particular day. Shame on me. I'll have to think about that one for a while. Easily the biggest triple tail I've personally seen in 2 to 3 years. All right. I get asked questions, what am I looking for when I'm running around looking for a triple tail? And the answer is anything in the water. I don't care if it's a small dead catfish or a huge piece of structure. If there's something floating in the water, I'm going to run by it and look if it's not too far out of my way. The only thing I don't look at is the Mylar birthday balloons that float on top of the water. And the reason for that is I personally feel it's because they float all the way on top of the water. Nothing's below the water level. So there's nothing to attract that fish, and they float faster than the water. And a triple tail is a pretty lazy fish. If he's got to chase that balloon and keep up with it, it really doesn't interest him. He'll go find something else. He doesn't want to work that hard. So if you've seen fish under balloons, drop me a note, let me know, because I never have. I don't even slow down for them anymore. All right. Last, snapper fishing has continued to be snapper fishing. Okay, it's not rocket science. I expect them to close state snapper season for state for hire boats, state charter boats this week. We should see an announcement probably, and then there's still plenty of opportunity for you to go snapper fishing. There's plenty of federal boats out there, and it's something you can do with friends if you have an adequate boat to go do it. It's a lot of fun, and the fish have been very, very hungry. A lot of good snapper been hitting the docks. All right, so forecast. Do I expect this pocket of clean water to continue? Probably not. We've had winds of 30 knots or better for the last day, all the way probably through tomorrow. The lowest forecast I'm seeing right now, and it's changing a lot, is probably 15 knots, if not 20, throughout the weekend in a lot of areas. So there's no telling what the water's going to look like. All I can tell you for sure is I'll be here next Thursday to tell you all about it. So don't forget to subscribe. Drop us a comment if you want us to talk about something else, and we'll see you then.